Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today is a very special day because in Best of One, rotation happened. We actually have rotated Standard. As you can see, Standard 22 ranked has arrived. They also, as well, Wizards released a new format called Standard Ranked, where you can play old Standard for some reason. Don't know why you'd want to do that, but yeah, new Standard is here, and today we're going to be playing around with a combo that's been doing a little bit of the rounds, but the moment I heard about this, I kind of wanted to play it, so we're going to play it nice and early before everyone starts to really hate it, and it could be a thing. I don't know. It's just, it's a combo that is right up my alley. For those who don't know, my favorite Planeswalker is Gideon of the Trials, and this kind of plays exactly into like the Gideon prison style. So we're going to be playing with Book of Exalted Deeds combo. This is a 3 white mana legendary artifact. It says at the beginning of your end step, if you gained 3 or more life this turn, you can create a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying. And then you can pay 3 and tap it to exile the Book of Exalted Deeds and put an enlightened counter on an angel. That angel then gains You Can't Lose the Game, and your opponents can't win the game. Activate this only at sorcery speed. So if you really wanted to, you can turn a 3/3 token into a Platinum Angel that stops your opponent winning and stops us from losing. So I might get this quite a lot. What's your win con? A win con is not losing. That's all you need to know. So once we've got that available, then we just kind of wait up for our opponent to draw the rest of their deck until they lose to Mill, in a nutshell. Mill in white, who'd have thunk it? But the one trick is, with the Book of Exalted Deeds, we're not going to be applying that counter to angel tokens. We're actually going to be applying that to our lands, specifically Faceless Haven from Kaldheim. It's a snow land, and you can pay 3 snow mana to make it become a 4/3 with Vigilance, and it has all creature types until the end of the turn, and it's still a land. What that means is when it's animated, it is an angel, which means we can put the Enlightened counter on the Faceless Haven, and at the end of the turn, it goes back to being a land. Once it's in our land base, our opponent pretty much cannot interact with it. Some decks can certainly do that. There's Lithoform Blight, I think, is now coming out as a little bit of tech against this deck, meaning that a land loses all abilities, so it would lose the ability given to it by the Book of Exalted Deeds. But other than that, it's a combo that has to be interacted with on the turn that we go for the combo, which basically means we can just fire it off when we feel comfortable to do that. We can also, in advance as well, use Tyrite Sanctum, a special land again from Kaldheim. The bottom part says we can sacrifice the Tyrite Sanctum to put an indestructible counter on target god. Remember, Faceless Haven is all creature types, so it is both an angel and a god. So Tyrite Sanctum can make our land indestructible, so anything like Cleansing Wildfire, for example, can no longer take care of Faceless Haven that way. So that's another way to kind of lock the game out. The rest of the deck is a mono-white control deck, all about finding the combo and not dying. So as far as not dying is concerned, we've got a couple new cards. We've got some that might not see play, which is like Minimus Containment. 3 mana, you enchant a non-land permanent, and that permanent becomes a treasure artifact with sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color. So it's kind of like a 3 mana Path to Exile in a weird roundabout fashion, but you can undo it if you really choose to do so. I've quite liked this card. It's a little bit expensive, but for new standard, I don't know. It's certainly found its place. We will get a lot of use out of this in today's video as well, so stay tuned for that. We also have 2 copies of Portable Hull, a 1 mana artifact, one that I didn't think I would see too much play, but it's, at the moment, there's a lot of kind of aggressive decks going around, so hitting creatures with mana value, or non-land permanents anyway, with mana value 2 or less, is still really useful. Like all the class enchantments are all 2 mana or less, so Portable Hull, it's pretty good at hitting those, so we can actually get a fair amount, but it's only a 2 of because it is very restrictive in that regard. And also we have Doomscar, all 4 copies to destroy all creatures, so our opponents can't really build up a board state against us to beat us. We gain a lot of life with this deck. We have Search for Glory, which actually is somewhat of a combo piece in this deck. It's a 3 mana, search your library for a snow permanent card, a legendary card, or a saga, reveal it and put it into your hand, gain 1 life for each snow spent to cast this spell. So it's a 3 mana, gain 3, that can also grab us either the Book of Exalted Deeds or the Faceless Haven. It's pretty insane that we have a tutor for the entire of our combo. You don't get that very often in today's Magic, but yeah, this one's lined up quite nicely. We have Revitalize to gain some life as well, to redraw to get us through our deck. Rune of Sustenance is also a redraw when it enters the battlefield. Whatever permanent you attach it to gains lifelink, so we can attach this to our Redain, for example, make it a 2/3 lifelinker that redraws. We could put it on our Faceless Haven, which would make it a 4/3 Vigilant lifelinking card, which is also very useful. And then there's also Cave of the Frost Dragon from the new D&D set. If you would control 2 or more other lands, it enters the battlefield tapped, so a little bit restrictive in that regard. But it is a white land that can pay 5 in total to become a 3/4 white dragon creature with flying. So a pretty interesting and wonderful little card there. Could do quite a fair bit. Got 4 copies of Amiria's Call, because why not? It's basically a free addition to our deck. 7 mana to create 2 4/4 angels if we really want to. Otherwise, we can put it in as a land to make our land drops. I think we've got 21 lands plus the 4 Amiria's Call, make 25 lands total, so we're not going to be missing our land drops too much. This is a turn 6 combo, essentially, and you need to untap with it, because you need the 3 white, and usually you're not going to have 6 white to play the book, animate the Faceless Haven, and also pay the 3 white again, so it's 6 white and 3 of anything else to get the combo down in one go, so it's really not likely to happen. But if you can get one down first and then untap with it, it's usually something that will occur, then you're all good. We have Loyal Warhound, a new D&D card as well. It's kind of like Knight of the White Orchid. 2 mana, 3/1 with Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, if an opponent controls more lands than you, you search your library for a basic Plains card and put it onto the battlefield. So if we are behind on mana, we can catch up, so it's kind of pseudo-ramp there. And also a nice blocking and attacking threat. It's pretty sweet. Who knows if it's actually worth the rare wild card that I spent on it. For standard, I imagine it's going to do fairly well. But yeah, the fact that it kind of just dies to everything is a little bit sketchy. But for mono-white decks, though, it's certainly a really nice pickup. Finally, the Eye of Vecna. This can be tutored up with the Search of Glory if we want, as well as Redain for the record. When it enters, you get to draw a card and lose 2 life, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you also get to pay 2, and if you do, you can draw a card and lose 2 life. So it's another one of those ways that we can churn through the deck, and the losing 2 life thing is pretty useful, because it's not pay 2 life. You can not pay life if you don't have life, but losing life, you can absolutely do that. So once we've got our combo in play, we can draw our entire deck with the Eye of Vecna if we want, because as long as we've got this combo, we can't lose to decking either. So, you know, once we've stopped drawing cards, the game's over for us, but it is very much still a losing game for our opponent, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, that's essentially the deck. I won't go into it too much. I'm sure most of you already have seen this combo before and maybe don't like it. I don't know. I just figured I needed to play this deck because it's right up my alley. It's a prison deck. I love prison decks quite a fair bit. And, you know, the longer this deck exists, I'm sure the more hated it will be. So let's play it when it's the most liked or the most not disliked it can be. If you do enjoy the content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and without further ado, let's get to the gameplay. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Okay then, we play first. We have the combo, actually, already ready to go with a Doomscar, a Skyclave Apparition, so a fair bit of early game interaction to get us there. So we just need to get to 6 mana for this combo. And with this hand we can certainly do that. We're probably just going to put Amiria's Call into play tap so that we have that 3rd land without having to pay 3 life down the line. You know, once we've got the combo assembled, it's a pretty good chance we don't really need to even try and kill our opponent. We just pass the turn until our opponent leaves. Vertile Fjord. Okay. Kind of think we just go with the Eye of Vecna here. Draw a card. Minimus Containment. So I believe this blue-red deck is a Tempo Dragons list, similar to the one that was in Standard for quite some time. Eye of Vecna doing a little bit of work. We're already at 16, though. Crazy stuff. Probably not going to pay for it much more than that, though. At this point, we want to probably just search for glory and grab a land if we don't draw one. Cool. Right, what could they have as far as counters are concerned? Saw it coming. I think Lofty Denial's a thing as well. This is probably the perfect time to go Book of Exalted Deeds, I would think. You can always search one up with the Search for Glory, though. Oh, they run negates? Okay. Fair enough. I guess it is a best of one version, so it makes sense. You just go Search for Glory and pick another one up. It's expressive iteration here. Problem is, with the Search for Glory plan, our opponent's going to know what we have in hand, so they just really have to leave open the answer on the next turn. So Fatella saw it coming right there. Doesn't really know what we do about that. We're going to decline here. Faceless Haven. Yeah, I mean, gonna have to go for it. Let's go and grab it. I think that's probably the best thing that we can do, right? It's either that or Redain. Redain only taxes 4 mana value non-creature spells, so doesn't really stop our opponent from playing the big dragons in their deck. So yeah, let's just go with a book. And Fatella Doomscar to be mana efficient here. And yeah, they just have to leave 2 mana open for the rest of the game, and I don't think we can win. It's one of the hard counters to this combo, really. I just don't have the pressure I need to get at them. Yeah, let's pay for an extra draw there. A Rune of Sustenance. Stick that on Faceless Haven, why not? They also have a 2 damage, or a 3 damage 2 mana burn spell. So I have to protect Faceless Haven through that as well, which is likely not going to happen. Emiria's Call is a way that we can pressure our opponent. Again, might as well just Fatella Doomscar here, get it out of our hand. See where we go from there. I think they have Behold the Multiverse as well, so that could be what's in the Fatell zone, but they didn't cast it there, so it's almost guaranteed to be a counter spell. So we can Skyclave Apparition the Galazeth. They still get a 4-drop if they kill it in response, which is definitely a thing that they'll likely want to do. So let's go Skyclave. They can't afford to counter this, because this is our only counter spell, I guess. So, what are we doing? You don't want to kill in response. Kill in response gets you nothing. Yeah, I think we're just going to go Rune of Sustenance on this Faceless Haven. They'll use their Draconic, whatever it's called. I think it's Draconic something. Because they kind of know that we can't play the Book of Exalted Deeds, which is the only card they need to stop me from resolving. Ooh. That is, that's a thing. Alright. Get 2 for 1 there and give him a 4/4. Fatell, another counter spell. Honestly, it just feels like it's time to scoop. I'm not sure there's really anything we can do in this situation. Can play Redain, but Redain doesn't do too much. They've got double counterspell here, so they can happily just throw one out here if they really cared, which, yeah, I kind of agree with them not caring there. That makes sense. Shall I make a 4 a treasure? Could do that. It's not going to be good when second Galazeth comes out, but at least we have a couple of Faceless Havens and a Redain to start beating down on our opponent here. Ooh, second book. That might be exactly what we need. Can we do it, though? We don't have the white mana for it. Right? 4, 5. Yeah, I only have 5 white mana. So that's not going to work for me. This is a 5-drop. This is a token, so Skyclave Apparition can't hit it. Well, actually, if I turned it back into a 4/4 by hitting... Oh, it's you don't control. I control the Minimus containment, so I couldn't turn it back into a 4/4 that way. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to have to make a board state of 4/4s and get at least one of those counters out. If our opponent's even up for doing that. Oh my god. Alright, so 3 counter spells in total there. Got rid of the treasures, that's cool. But yeah, no hope in hell of winning this one now. I've heard a lot of ban talk about this Book of Exalted Deeds on day one, and this is my literal first game playing against anything in Standard 22, and it's very abundantly clear it's not the most powerful deck. So, no bans required here, I think. Portable Holes, not a good card. Let's see if we can get rid of the Ilmarith? Is that it? Ilmarith? That's what we're going with. I mean, if they want to fire off a counterspell here, they know they can, because I don't have the triple white presented at this point. I do, however, have second Doomscar. And yeah, they definitely don't want to use all of their treasures fighting over that, or all of their counterspells, should I say. I'm just going to have to hope their next threat is a 4-drop or less for the Skyclave Apparition. But I guess with double book now I can do a little bit of work. That's a redraw, looking for a counter probably. Take 2. And I'm dead. Alright, on to the next game. Alright, we're in. We have a 2-lander with an Eye of Vecna and some board wipes. Basically all of our interaction, but none of our combo. I think this is a fine enough hand to keep. See where we go with this. Like, tap land, say go, is perfectly acceptable in a format like this, I would think. And then Vecna gives us a guaranteed draw of losing 2 life, and then after that we can decide where we want to go from there. If we haven't drawn our lands, we might be in a little bit of trouble. But we only have to get to 3 in order to Doomscar our opponent's board, so it's not the worst. Green-black Snarl, okay. Necro Blossom. Valentin. Alright. No ward here, so I could take care of it immediately, or I could play the Eye of Vecna. Well, we definitely want to go Snow-Covered Plains. If we go with the Eye of Vecna here, then we'll hope to draw another Plains or our combo piece into a Plains. I think this is fine. Minimus Containment, okay. How much we want to be taking off the Eye of Vecna is to be determined, but for now, this seems okay. Probably go land, Portable Hole, Foretell Doomscar. Opponent also foretells. Well, my turn's pretty much decided for me, so drawing an extra card here is not likely to change anything. The only 3-drop I want is a triple white card, so... we did get another Snow-Covered Plains. We will focus on them over the Tyrite Sanctum. So let's get Doomscar in, Portable Hole in. Goodbye, Valentin. And I would say we're making decent progress here. So we just need to find any of our tutor cards for historic cards. I'll just top deck them off the top. I could probably afford to pay off the Eye of Vecna here and start regaining a little bit of card advantage on our opponent. Since we got plenty of removal here, like the 2 damage we're taking is, you know, I think it's a reasonable amount to take considering we'll just blow up the board and pretend like we just, you know, took the damage anyway, kind of thing. But progress it a little bit speedier. Ranger class. That is a card I would like to remove from the board. I'm going to Doomscar to get rid of these. The Ranger class is only good if they have an attacking creature. So if the board state doesn't exist, then it's not a concern. I am going to pay 2 here. I think it's fine. We'll take at least 1 bit. Right. When does this come into play tapped? 2 or more other lands. Alright. We'll foretell that. We'll let our opponent invest some mana into Ranger class and then we'll blow up the world. I don't mind taking 4. It's taking, you know, extra after that that's a bit of a sketchy line. To be fair, even this could be a sketchy line. It's kind of a greedy draw, for sure. But yeah, they just go attack, pass. No follow-up creature, so Ranger class is kind of not gonna do much. I'm not gonna pay here, though. I think we've taken enough damage for now. So, Doomscar. There it goes. And we'll play a tap land, pass the turn. Why is Cave of the Frost Dragon not a snow land? That seems like a flavor fail. Alright, another Valentin, so we kind of helped their hand a little bit there. And we're going to decline. Emiria's Call, we're going to Doomscar again. And I might just turn the Ranger class into a treasure. It kind of seems reasonable to me. It's a treasure now. There you go. Oh, look at that, it even changes its art. I don't know if it should do that, personally, but I guess it makes it abundantly clear it's a treasure. It just doesn't make it clear that it used to be a Ranger class. It's just this tiny little bit of text. It's hard to say whether or not that's a terrible idea or not. Sedgemoor Witch. And Warlock class. Alright. So at the beginning of the end step, if a creature died, each opponent loses 1 life. This one forces me to pay 3 life in order to remove it. Is it ability as well? Spell or an ability? So I'm not going to pay on the eye because I'm a little bit concerned for my life total right now. I think we are going Skyclave Apparition. Take care of the Sedgemoor Witch. Gonna have to pay 3 on this. I'm sure, unfortunately. Goodbye, 3 mana play, and hopefully we draw a good card. 5 mana for that, so we can't use it. Do I care about this? I will eventually care about it, but not right now. Poison the Cup was their card. That gives them their 3-drop back. They did it before I'd ended my turn, so we can turn that token into a token treasure. Happily. Sequencing error from them. Opens up a punish for us. And then if we got nothing better to do, we can go Emiria's Call. We probably want to do that, though, because this thing is quite a problematic card that I can't deal with. So opponent can level up. When it becomes level 2, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. For 2 mana, you should probably do that. I've seen a lot of 3 drops and Foretell cards from them. In fact, everything they've played so far could be played off that Warlock class. So might as well go ahead and do it. I'm at 8 life, and we haven't found a single piece of our combo. We've got a couple of life gain cards in here as well. Snakeskin Veil is a card that we have to be aware of. So do I go to 6 in order to draw a card? I don't think I do, because I'm just going to tap out for the Amira's Call. Ah, finally, we got the Faceless Haven. One, two, three. I don't think we got the mana to turn Faceless Haven into an indestructible creature, right? We do 1, 2, 3. That leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we do. So I could make this a 4/3 and then sack the Tyrite Sanctum on the block of the lair of the Hydra. Opponent can't kill me with it, right? Pays 1 green plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it can only be a 6/6 max. So actually, I think that's our line of play. We make the Faceless Haven an indestructible creature. And then we don't have to worry about the lair. Alright, they're just going to go Learning. Get a Pest Summoning, so more pests for them. Okay. So, let's make sure everything's up to code here. Faceless Haven. It's a 4/3. Excuse me? Am I losing my mind there? We pay 1, 2, 3. Leaves us with 1 in this stack, so that's 1, 2, 3, plus the Faceless Haven tapping itself for 4. The game just screwed me. Cool. Cool. I guess I'll go with the Amira's Call now. Let's make some 4/4s. I guess that's my line of play. I should have full controlled, I guess. I just trusted the game too much. It's always been my downfall whenever playing Arena, is I trust the game to allow me to perform the actions that I'm legally allowed to do. I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to do that. But that must be a bug where it doesn't read Faceless Haven as a tappable creature, I guess. Because why would you want to tap the creature? You're just animated. Maybe. I don't know. Opponent's getting in with the lair of the Hydra. So if I double block here, they lose their lair. I only lose 1 token. If a creature died this turn, we lose 1. So we're going down to 4 here. That seems perfectly acceptable to me. Would I like to pay 2? I absolutely would not. Skyclave Apparition. A good game, apparently? Is it? Let's get rid of the Warlock class. But a nices. Alright, fair enough. Got 3 blockers, so they're 3 attackers. Opponent's got a Ranger class that can turn 1 into a 2/2, but that will not push through my board. Now they've early GG'd, I do need to severely punish their line. So you can gain some life and you lose everything. I guess they could have, this was a bad block. I should have blocked Angel on the 2/2. They can have Snakeskin Veil, we've already seen it. Village Rites, okay. Not punished. Okay, gain a little bit of life. Nope. Aha! Book of Exalted Deeds. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Book. Animate the Faceless Haven. Oh, never mind. I guess we'll attack with the Faceless Haven. So I'm not paying attention. Alright, pass the turn, because I'm an idiot. We only have 4 Snowlands. I should have tapped the Faceless Haven to animate itself, I think, and then I would have been able to do it. Okay, this has been an absolute mess of a game. But I think we should be okay. And it reveals that one of their cards is a swamp, so the last card in their hand has to be good. That is not good enough, unfortunately, opponent. I will not make the same foolish mistake twice. Or will I? Goodbye, Angel Token, I will not need you. Decline that, because I'm terrified. Alright, so tap Faceless Haven. 2 more snow. This leaves us with 3 white. This is now an angel that prevents me from losing the game. I will foretell this and say good game to our opponent. Nice early GG. Hang on, we've got some new... some new emotes. We can't lose anymore, by the way, chat. Which means our opponent cannot win. Not unless they're running the Lithoform Blight card. That's the only thing they could be running to beat this combo. And I'm sure by the time they've drawn it, we will have found another Book of Exalted Deeds and Faceless Haven ready to go. So, yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. On to the next one. Alrighty then, we're in. We've got a Faceless Haven and our Book of Exalted Deeds, so we are ready to go. We're going to go Plains rather than the Faceless Haven, because we want to get down the book as early as possible, potentially, here. Faceless Haven doesn't really allow us to do too much. We could, like, Rune of Sustenance it, but we can also just Revitalize as a redraw as well, so... really no big deal on that front. Okay, so Plains go. Opponent is playing... Skyclave Cleric. Interesting. Alright, so do we want to get down the Eye of Vecna? I think we kind of do, because we really want to draw a Plains. So we can draw a card here, and if we don't draw a Plains with the Faceless Haven, we could pay 2 to draw another. Get that kind of engine going. Green, white, okay. And they care about life gain, at least to a certain extent. There's a Lotus Cobra. Alright, maybe it's just a lands deck then. Okay, so... still haven't found our white source, but we can go search for Glory to go get it. We have everything else we need here. We could have avoided drawing the extra card here just to hit the Lotus Cobra with the Skyclave Apparition. That could come back to bite us, but this is a format without Fabled Passage, so Lotus Cobra ends up looking extremely bad in the long term. We're going to decline the draw here. And just drop down a Skyclave Apparition on that Felidar Retreat. I have no issues with getting rid of a card like that. Yeah, it looks like Search is just going to go get us a Plains. Because that is certainly what we need right now. I guess Evolving Wilds is in the format. It's substantially worse Fabled Passage, but still. They want to trade Lotus Cobra, but they get a 4-drop out of it, so I'll take the 2. Yep, sure. So I can't guarantee a 3rd land drop, or a land drop off of this to allow me to do 3 drops, so I'm going to decline, because I think I have to hit the Toski. Yeah, I can do that, so search for Glory. Grab a Plains. We do need 3 white, so that's going to be really useful there. And we could redraw... or we could foretell Doomscar. So if I redrew, I could play for 3 colorless, maybe, if I drew that, or whatever. And then I have the 3 for the Book of Exalted Deeds, so I'm ready to go, essentially. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's just redraw. Could do a little bit of life gain. We're at 15, we don't really care. This will put lifelink on our Faceless Haven, which is amusing for sure. Alright, so we can block the Tusky. Once cracking the Revolving Wilds, which you would assume goes against their Lotus Cobra game plan, but maybe they want a 5 or 6 drop here. Valakut Exploration. Opponent is doing their thing. And I applaud them for that. This deck's certainly very interesting to watch. Another Valakut. Okay. So we lose 2 life for this. Block the Tusky. So if we draw a land, we just win. I need to do it while not paying 2 life, though. So I think that means that I win, right? We go 1, 2, 3. Book of Exalted Deeds. Oh no, I need 3 white from the book itself. That's a bit I missed off. Okay, well, if that's the case, I have a spare book, so I don't really need to search for glory for anything. Let's just revitalize. I think the only way that we can lose is by taking a lot of damage via these Valakuts, so let's produce a blocking board state. Let's gain as much life as we can to stop the Valakut Exploration from pinging us to death. And that should be the game locked in. Some pretty good stuff there. There's a Ranger class, or Druid class, actually. Sweet. Additional land drops from this thing if you pay 3. So for 5 mana, they can make 2 land drops for the turn. Overgrown Arch. So what they're going to need now is an instant speed burn spell for my Faceless Haven. So I would really love to just see them tap out of red here, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Or at least they tried to do. Sack it to learn. They could go get the white... Oh, Containment Breach. Yep, sure. That gets rid of an artifact. So they bought themselves a turn here. Let's block here. And then we take 4. Right? Or is it just 2? Actually, yeah, because there are separate stacks, aren't they? Okay, we're going to decline. We're going to play the next Book of Exalted Deeds. And we're going to search up the next Book of Exalted Deeds. There it is. There we go. Amiria's Call. Might as well play it tapped. Sure, I don't really need to, but the option's there. Book down. It's really nice when you can search for glory, gaining a 3 because of your snow mana, and then the book you just resolved gives you the trigger off of it. It's really sweet. Speaking of things that's sweet. It's a pretty interesting angel token. I like it. Part of me is always upset, though, when angels don't have vigilance. They don't always have to, but you always wish they do. When I think angels, I think vigilant flyers. Opponent realizes that they cannot remove the book and concedes. A wonderful victory there, and on to the next one. Alrighty, we're in. And this hand is... hard to evaluate. We have 1 white source, which is kind of why I want to keep it, but the rest of the colorless stuff really kind of annoys me. I think it's okay, though, because we got the Eye of Vecna to redraw, or the Ruin of Sustenance if we don't want to take the damage, and then we follow that with a Redain into a Search for Glory. We already have the Faceless Haven, so we either go get the book, or we go get some more planes. I think it's actually keepable. It just looks real weird. Mountain for our opponent, and we go tap land and say hello. Kalane, Reclusive Painter, 2 mana 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, create treasure. Other creatures you control enter the battlefield with an additional counter on them for each treasure spent to cast them. That's pretty sweet. We're going to go Faceless Haven. We're going to go Eye of Vecna here. I want to hit more lands. Thank you. We'll gain that back in no time at all. Immerstrom Predator, a 4/4. Dies to Skyclave Apparition, so if you could find that, that'd be great. Can't really tutor it up, though. So what do we want to do here? Want to pay? I don't think we want to pay. No. That'll do. You like treasures? How'd you like treasures, opponent? Enjoy that one. It has a counter on it. Gold Span Dragon. Alright. It's a 5/5. They make a treasure. This aggression could honestly be enough. So I can't really use the Eye of Vecna. Not if I wish to live for very long. Revitalize isn't too bad. So I think I'm foretelling Doomscar and Revitalizing. Let's go Revitalize first. We might draw something we like. Minimus Containment. Give him another treasure. That could work. Yeah, I think we're just foretelling a Doomscar here and then planning on blowing up the world next turn. No doubt Kalane's going to put a counter on something else that's quite nasty. Might even be taking 11 here if they've got another gold span. And then from there, it's just a matter of drawing another hasty creature and we're done for. We are unfortunately extremely far away from actually comboing. Gonna decline. Rune of Sustenance. We only have 2 white mana here, so we have to Doomscar. Yep. Doomscar it is. Opponent's playing around this. Could they have an indestructible option here? Sacking their treasures. Oh. That thing has flash. It is a black creature that is playable with flash. Who'd have thunk it? Alright, we might just be dead. Certainly not going to be paying for that. Skyclave Apparition. That's a reasonable hit, I suppose. As long as they don't have another Ebon Death. Because I'm basically unlocking their hand if they do. Do you? Deadly Dispute. Basically village rights with treasures involved. Fair. Totally fair. And then am I dead? Have I just died? So far... this is another Ebon Death, it has to be. Cinderclasm. Cool. That works for me. Kalane. Make a treasure. So we're dead to a lot of things. Ebon Death will kill us. Goldspan Dragon will kill us. Damage to the face will kill us. I don't know if that exists or not. Portable Hull. Deals combat damage to a player, create treasure tokens, so that probably won't happen. I'm thinking I search for glory. I kind of have to, like, search for glory for a land, I think. I'm only gaining 2 from it as well, which really stinks. Could Redain and give it lifelink if we survive a turn. Could even go for the Valkmira side as well and prevent some damage. It's not really going to prevent the damage that I die to, though. Yeah, I kind of think that we just have to go and do this, and then... Let's grab a planes. Gets us 2 life. We'll go portable hull, I suppose. Get rid of this nonsense. I can block the Horde Robber. So we're at 5. Still dead to Goldspan Dragon. Still dead to... Not dead to that. Not dead to that. We have an answer as well. Do I want to pay? I do not. This thing drains you quick. It seems good on first impressions, and then all of a sudden, you're dead. All of a sudden, death. Alright, let's turn it into a treasure. So our opponent's game plan, so I am helping them. Appreciate me, opponent. If you'd be so kind. I'm gonna sack it so they can get their Ebb and Death. Yeah. Okay. Do the thing. So, you may cast it from your graveyard if a creature not named Ebb and Death died this turn, and it enters the battlefield tapped, it's a 5/2. So if I go Rune of Sustenance on my Skyclave Apparition here, I go up to 7 and I survive the hit. And it can't block it. Search for Glory. Then I can Doomscar, maybe? There it is. Enters tapped. We go to 7. Take 5 down to 2. Our opponent's next draw is... Well, if it was Goldspan, we'd have been dead. Devour Intellect. So they get to Thoughtseize me. That's real bad. They can take the Doomscar, which is my direct answer. Or if I play Redain here, I block Ebb and Death. And I could even put a rune on it as well, so I gain a little bit of life. Yeah, they want to make sure that I really have to pay for my board wipe. I'm just thinking, can I gain enough life to, again, not die to Ebb and Death? I think it's doable. We go up to 4 with the Apparition. We could go Search for Glory. Yeah, I think we're okay for now. Suppose I could even go Search for Glory, get my other Redain, and play it. Trading just Redain, though, without lifelink seems a bit less than ideal. If I go 1, 2, 3, I gain 2 life off of this. Why is it floating? Do I have to use snow mana? Or is it just... It's just being weird, I think. Now I can cast the Book of Exalted Deeds. Up to 6. Play the book. Gain an angel. Alright. That worked out extremely well. I'm not dead to Goldspan Dragon anymore. Not dead to Ebb and Death if they have a removal spell. And I believe I may even... I don't actually know if I have the mana for... Say no to that. Oh, now do I have the mana for it. Faceless Haven taps itself. Plus another plains, because I have to do this because snow mana is required. We go Faceless Haven. Turn Faceless Haven into a Platinum Angel. And if that makes it back to my land base, I'm probably winning the game. Alright. So now they need an answer to Faceless Haven. I can pay 2 life here. Yeah, I could probably just Skyclave Apparition it, I suppose. Yeah, they could have a Lithoform Blight. That's a thing that could kill me. For sure. Cave of the Frost Dragon. Alright. I'll tell you about things that could kill our opponent, though. Cave of the Frost Dragon with a Rune of Sustenance attached to it. That seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, I'll pay. I'll do that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll hold on the Loyal Warhound. So let's 1, 2. Stick that on this Cave of the Frost Dragon. Faceless Haven. This costs 5 mana, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I could animate it, but I couldn't use it. And you're just a death trigger thing. Target creature an opponent controls gets -1 if it dies, so I can't attack through that. Let's just play the Book of Exalted Deeds, I suppose. Might as well. Opponent says good game, and that'll do it. Wow, that was a very close game. Very close indeed. I thought that was over for quite some time, but looks like we managed to eke out our value over time. Eye of Vecna is a hard card to work with, because losing 2 life every single turn is extremely painful, but in a deck like this that gains 3 life here and there, you know, you can make up for that card draw a little bit. And also, like, once the combo's in play, you can just draw as much as you want, which is pretty cool. It's tutorable as well with the Search for Glory, so once we've run out of combo pieces to grab, then that's the thing that we could do there, which is why I like it as a one-of in this list. It's definitely nearly killed me and also won me games, I think, is my way of evaluating it. It's pretty good for Brawl. I'm excited for that. It'll go into any deck that doesn't draw cards very well, especially ones that gain a lot of life as well. So, yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's video, though, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I would really appreciate if you do hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this in the future. I think I am going to be playing most of my Standard in the Standard 22 event, so hopefully you guys appreciate this kind of content without the Eldraine and nonsense, and the companions playing Brawl in Standard isn't really what I had in mind when Ikoria came out, but it's what we had to do, I guess. But yeah, I really like this new format, and hopefully you guys do too. And without further ado, gonna end it. Take care, and good night.